Most Americans believe BBQ sauce is just flavor. Sweet, smoky, harmless. Something you pour over ribs, chicken, burgers, or pulled pork without thinking twice. But that bottle sitting in your fridge right now? There's a very real chance it contains more industrial sugar, artificial smoke chemicals, and flavor enhancers than actual ingredients you would recognize in a real kitchen. BBQ sauce has become one of the most trusted staples in American households. It feels traditional, authentic, almost cultural. But the truth hiding behind many of the most famous BBQ sauce brands in the United States is far less nostalgic. Some of these sauces are engineered using ultra-processed corn syrups designed to trigger addictive taste responses. Others rely on artificial smoke compounds that mimic real wood-fired flavor without ever touching a flame. One brand on this list contains more sugar per serving than many desserts. Another markets itself as authentic pit style while using ingredient shortcuts that professional pitmasters openly refuse to use. And the worst offender? It's one of the most recognizable BBQ sauce brands in America, sitting in millions of refrigerators right now, especially in homes with kids. I spent weeks analyzing ingredient labels, food manufacturing disclosures, Pitmaster interviews, and supply chain sourcing behind the most popular BBQ sauces sold in US grocery stores. What I found completely changes how you look at that squeeze bottle. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down 7 BBQ sauce brands sold across the United States that you should seriously reconsider buying, explaining exactly what's inside them, how they're made, and why the marketing rarely matches the reality. But this isn't about fear. By the end of this video, you'll also discover 2 BBQ sauce brands trusted by real pitmasters. Brands built on simple ingredients, honest preparation, and real smoke flavor. If you grill for your family, if you host backyard cookouts, if you've ever assumed BBQ sauce is just tomato, spices, and smoke, you need to see this. Because once you understand what's actually inside most commercial BBQ sauces, you don't unknow it. Let's start with the brand almost every American household recognizes immediately. 1. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's is everywhere. It's the best-selling BBQ sauce brand in the United States. Bright label, friendly name, backyard cookout energy. For many families, Sweet Baby Ray's isn't just BBQ sauce. It's tradition. It's game day. It's summer grilling. It's childhood memories soaked into ribs and chicken wings. And that emotional connection is exactly why it dominates grocery shelves. But when you flip the bottle and read the ingredient label, the image changes fast. The first ingredient isn't tomatoes. It's high fructose corn syrup. That matters more than most people realize. High fructose corn syrup is one of the cheapest industrial sweeteners used in processed foods. It's heavily refined, extremely concentrated, and designed to trigger strong reward signals in the brain. In Sweet Baby Ray's, it forms the foundation of the sauce, not a minor flavor addition. The sauce is essentially engineered sugar syrup flavored to taste like BBQ. Then comes corn syrup again, not once, twice. This double-layer sugar structure creates an extremely sweet profile that masks the absence of traditional slow-smoked flavor development. And that smoky backyard taste people love? It often comes from artificial smoke flavoring, chemical compounds produced by condensing wood smoke into liquid extracts and stabilizing them for mass production. Real pitmasters spend hours developing smoke flavor through wood selection, heat control, and patience. Industrial sauces replicate that in seconds, inside a factory tank. The result tastes convincing, but it isn't authentic. Then there's sodium content. A few tablespoons can deliver a surprisingly high sodium load, especially dangerous when layered onto already salted meats like ribs or brisket. For families, this combination becomes a hidden problem. Kids love Sweet Baby Ray's because it tastes like candy-coated meat. Adults love it because it feels familiar and nostalgic. But nutritionally, it functions closer to dessert glaze than traditional BBQ sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's isn't popular because it's authentic. It's popular because it's engineered to be addictive. And if you think that level of sugar manipulation is concerning, the next brand markets itself as bold, masculine, and rugged, while quietly using many of the same shortcuts. 2. KC Masterpiece. KC Masterpiece sells a powerful story, Kansas City BBQ heritage, bold flavor, authentic pit tradition, deep American barbecue roots. The branding feels historical, almost sacred to BBQ culture. But the ingredient list tells a very different story. Like Sweet Baby Ray's, KC Masterpiece relies heavily on high fructose corn syrup as its primary ingredient. That means most of what you're tasting isn't tomato base or spice balance. It's industrial sweetener driving flavor dominance. This dramatically alters how the sauce interacts with meat. Traditional BBQ sauces are designed to complement smoked proteins, enhancing bark texture and balancing fat. KC Masterpiece often overwhelms meat flavor entirely, turning ribs, chicken, or pork into vehicles for sugar delivery. Then comes modified food starch. This is used to artificially thicken the sauce, creating that heavy, sticky texture consumers associate with richness. But it's not slow reduction or natural cooking. It's industrial viscosity engineering. You'll also find caramel coloring. That deep, dark BBQ appearance people associate with slow-smoked authenticity, often created using heat-processed sugar coloring, not actual smoke exposure or long cooking processes. And once again, artificial smoke flavor appears. This pattern shows up across mass-market BBQ sauces. It allows companies to replicate traditional pit flavors without the cost or time of real smoke infusion. Families trust KC Masterpiece because it feels historic. But the formula is modern industrial food science, optimized for shelf life, consistency, and profit margins. And here's where the human impact shows up. When sauces rely heavily on sugar dominance, they encourage overconsumption. Meat gets drenched, portions increase, calories skyrocket. Many households unknowingly turn backyard BBQ meals into sugar-loaded dishes, especially when children are involved. KC Masterpiece sells heritage, but inside the bottle, it's largely engineered sweetness with lab-assisted smoke illusion. And the next brand, it positions itself as edgy, spicy, and premium, while hiding a surprisingly similar industrial formula. 3. Stubb's Original BBQ Sauce. Stubb's carries a completely different image. Texas roots, music culture, authentic Austin BBQ legend story. Compared to other mass-market sauces, Stubb's often feels artisanal, even rebellious against corporate food. And to be fair, Stubb's avoids high fructose corn syrup in many versions. That sounds like a win. But the story doesn't end there. Stubb's frequently replaces high fructose corn syrup with large quantities of cane sugar and molasses. While these sound more natural, they still create extremely high sugar density within the sauce. In some bottles, sugar concentration rivals the brands it appears to compete against. Then comes natural flavoring, a vague label term allowed under FDA regulations. Natural flavors can represent complex processed extracts that manufacturers are not required to fully disclose. Consumers often interpret that phrase as simple spice blends or wood smoke infusion. In reality, it can involve concentrated flavor isolates developed through industrial processing. Stubb's also relies on liquid smoke in several formulas. Liquid smoke itself isn't automatically harmful, but it represents condensed smoke particulates rather than slow traditional smoking integration. That creates a flavor shortcut. Authentic Pitmasters build layers of smoke during meat cooking. Bottled smoke flavors apply smoke after the fact, as seasoning, not cooking process. The difference seems subtle, but in barbecue culture, it's massive. Families gravitate towards Stubb's because it feels craft-oriented and premium compared to other supermarket options. But nutritionally, it still carries heavy sugar loads, sodium density, and industrial flavor shortcuts. Stubb's markets authenticity through storytelling. But storytelling doesn't always equal traditional preparation integrity. And the next brand? It leans heavily into Southern comfort branding, while quietly packing one of the most sugar-dense formulas on the entire shelf. 4. Kraft Original BBQ Sauce. Kraft is one of the most trusted food companies in American history. Mac and cheese, salad dressing, family staples for generations. That brand trust extends directly into Kraft BBQ sauce. Parents buy it because Kraft feels safe, familiar, reliable. But the BBQ sauce formula reveals a highly processed structure built for mass scalability, not culinary authenticity. High fructose corn syrup returns as the primary ingredient. Then comes distilled vinegar, tomato paste, and modified food starch again, reinforcing that artificially thick consistency many consumers mistake for richness. Kraft BBQ sauce also includes preservatives designed to extend shelf life far beyond what traditional homemade sauces could achieve. This allows the product to sit in warehouses, grocery stores, and refrigerators for extended periods without losing visual consistency. But long shelf life often comes at the cost of ingredient simplicity. Then there's the smoke flavor. Like many mass-market brands, Kraft frequently uses artificial smoke compounds rather than wood-smoked infusion or naturally reduced smoke concentrate methods. The flavor profile is designed to hit predictable taste checkpoints: sweet, tangy, smoky, salty, in perfectly repeatable ratios. It's food engineering at scale. Families trust Kraft because it's always been there. But long-standing brand presence doesn't guarantee ingredient quality. And if you think the corporate food giant approach is concerning, the next brand markets itself as bold, adventurous, and gourmet, while hiding one of the highest sodium profiles on this list. 5. Bullseye BBQ sauce. Bullseye sells intensity, aggressive branding, bold flavor claims, grill master energy. It positions itself as sauce for serious BBQ enthusiasts, people who want stronger, deeper flavor impact. But behind that bold presentation sits a formula heavily dependent on sugar layering and sodium amplification. Bullseye frequently combines high fructose corn syrup with additional sweeteners like molasses and sugar solids, creating stacked sweetness designed to hit multiple taste receptors simultaneously. This is a common industrial technique used to enhance perceived richness, while keeping production costs low. Then comes sodium concentration. Some Bullseye formulas contain significantly elevated sodium levels compared to other sauces. When paired with smoked meats already seasoned with rubs and brines, sodium levels can climb rapidly. This is particularly concerning for families with children or individuals managing blood pressure issues. Bullseye also relies heavily on caramel coloring and smoke flavor additives, reinforcing visual and flavor consistency across mass production batches. The result feels bold, but it's bold through chemical balancing, not slow pit craftsmanship. Bullseye sells the image of competitive BBQ culture, but many professional pitmasters avoid sauces built on heavy sugar-sodium stacking because they mask meat quality instead of enhancing it. And what comes next pushes industrial processing even further, especially in the family-friendly segment of supermarket BBQ sauces. 6. Jack Daniel's BBQ sauce. Jack Daniel's BBQ sauce carries one of the strongest brand associations in American food culture: Tennessee whiskey heritage, Southern authenticity, bold craftsmanship. When consumers see the Jack Daniel's name on a BBQ sauce bottle, they expect depth, tradition, a sauce inspired by real smokehouse expertise. But once again, the reality inside the bottle doesn't fully match the story printed on the label. Many Jack Daniel's BBQ sauce varieties rely heavily on sugar layering. Brown sugar, molasses, and corn syrup combinations dominate the flavor structure. While these ingredients sound more rustic and authentic compared to high fructose corn syrup, they still create extremely high sugar density. In several formulas, sugar content becomes the primary driver of flavor, overpowering tomato base, spice complexity, and actual smoke depth. Then there's the whiskey factor. Consumers often assume the presence of real whiskey means traditional infusion techniques, or flavor development tied to barrel aging and smoke interaction. In reality, the whiskey component is typically minimal and functions more as branding enhancement than culinary foundation. Another concern appears in sodium concentration. Like many sauces built for bold, mass-market flavor, Jack Daniel's BBQ sauce frequently uses elevated sodium levels to intensify taste impact and shelf stability. And once again, smoke flavor shortcuts appear. Several Jack Daniel's varieties incorporate smoke flavor additives designed to replicate wood smoke notes without traditional pit preparation methods. This allows consistency across millions of bottles, but sacrifices authenticity in the process. Families purchase this sauce believing they are buying premium Southern barbecue heritage, but in many cases, they're buying a brand collaboration product built on sugar-driven flavor engineering. And if that seems misleading, the next brand builds its entire reputation around Memphis-style authenticity, while quietly relying on some of the same industrial techniques. 7. Rendezvous. BBQ sauce, the worst offender. Rendezvous. BBQ sauce carries legendary status in American barbecue culture. Named after the famous Memphis restaurant, associated with real pitmasters, deep regional authenticity, Historic credibility. When consumers pick up a bottle of Rendezvous sauce, they believe they're buying something directly connected to genuine barbecue tradition. That belief is exactly what makes this one of the most surprising entries on this list. Rendezvous sauces often present themselves as craft-style barbecue, but many retail versions rely heavily on sugar-based formulas, concentrated syrups, and processed flavor enhancers designed to replicate the restaurant experience at mass production scale. The biggest issue lies in flavor reconstruction. Instead of slow flavor development through cooking reduction and spice layering, several retail formulations use concentrated sweeteners combined with dehydrated seasoning blends and artificial smoke components to recreate the recognizable restaurant flavor profile. The result is a product designed to imitate authenticity rather than deliver it. Another hidden concern involves ingredient density. Retail Rendezvous sauces often contain higher sugar-to-tomato ratios than traditional Memphis-style barbecue sauces prepared in actual pit kitchens. This alters both nutritional balance and flavor authenticity. Then comes sodium stacking. Combined with Memphis-style dry rub meats, which already contain salt and spice concentration, the additional sodium from these sauces can push total sodium intake far beyond recommended daily limits during a single meal. Families buy Rendezvous believing they're bringing real pit tradition into their homes. But mass retail scaling has transformed that heritage into a formula built for shelf consistency rather than pit authenticity. This is the moment where nostalgia becomes marketing leverage, and it represents the most extreme example on this list of tradition being converted into industrial food production. But here's the good news. Not every BBQ sauce on American shelves follows this pattern. Some brands are built differently, and the next two are trusted not by marketing departments, but by actual pitmasters who live and breathe barbecue culture. 8. Blues Hog Original Rio BBQ Sauce. Blues Hog is widely respected inside competitive barbecue circles across the United States. Not supermarket popularity, not mass market dominance, pit competition credibility. Blues Hog sauces are frequently used in professional BBQ competitions sanctioned by organizations like the Kansas City Barbecue Society. That level of trust doesn't come from branding, it comes from performance. The ingredient list reflects that difference. Blues Hog avoids high fructose corn syrup. Instead, it relies on balanced sweeteners combined with natural spice layering, tomato-based development, and controlled smoke flavor integration. The sauce is designed to complement smoked meat, not overpower it. Another major difference is production philosophy. Blues Hog focuses heavily on flavor balance rather than sweetness dominance. The sauce enhances bark texture, highlights natural meat smoke, and allows pitmasters to maintain control over the final flavor profile. Transparency also plays a role. Blues Hog publicly emphasizes small batch style production, ingredient balance, and pit-tested formulations developed by competition cooks rather than corporate flavor labs. Yes, Blues Hog can cost more than mass-market supermarket brands. That price reflects ingredient quality, smaller production runs, and flavor design built around real barbecue culture rather than shelf optimization. When pitmasters choose Blues Hog, they're choosing a sauce built to respect meat, not hide it. And there's another brand trusted by professional barbecue chefs, one built around simple ingredient transparency and traditional preparation methods. 9. Meat Michwamp BBQ Sauce. Meat Michwamp. BBQ sauce has built a strong reputation among competition pitmasters and serious backyard grill enthusiasts across the United States. Unlike mass-market brands designed around cost efficiency, Meat Mitch sauces focus on ingredient clarity and flavor authenticity. The ingredient list is noticeably cleaner. No high fructose corn syrup, balanced natural sweeteners. Tomato base developed through controlled cooking reduction rather than artificial thickening agents. The spice blend is carefully layered to deliver heat, tang, and smoke balance without overwhelming the natural flavor of smoked meats. Another defining feature is traceability. Meat Mitch openly discusses flavor design philosophy, competition testing, and barbecue culture roots. The brand is deeply connected to real pitmaster experience rather than marketing storytelling. The sauce consistency reflects traditional reduction cooking rather than modified starch thickening, resulting in more natural texture and flavor integration with meat fibers during cooking. Yes, it often costs more than standard grocery store BBQ sauces, But that cost represents ingredient quality, reduced processing shortcuts, and a commitment to traditional barbecue values. These two brands prove something important. Authentic barbecue sauce still exists in the United States. It simply requires consumers to look beyond the biggest labels on the shelf. We just exposed 7 of the most recognizable BBQ sauce brands sold across the United States. Brands trusted by millions of families, brands associated with tradition, nostalgia, and backyard cookouts. And yet, behind the labels, many rely on the same hidden patterns: industrial sugar concentration, artificial smoke flavor shortcuts, sodium stacking, ingredient engineering designed for shelf life and mass profit, not authentic barbecue craftsmanship. Sweet Baby Ray's, KC Masterpiece, Stubbs, Kraft, Bullseye, Jack Daniel's, Rendezvous. Each one sells a story. But stories don't always match what's inside the bottle. Families pour these sauces over ribs, chicken, burgers, and pulled pork, believing they're adding flavor rooted in American barbecue tradition. In many cases, they're adding concentrated sugar syrups and lab-designed smoke flavor compounds. And it's completely legal, completely normalized, completely hidden behind branding that feels trustworthy. But now you know. You know what to look for. You know how ingredient lists reveal the truth behind marketing. And you know that better options exist. Blues Hog, Meat Mitch, 2 brands trusted by real pitmasters who build flavor through experience, competition testing, and respect for traditional barbecue preparation. Now the next step is yours. Open your refrigerator, grab your BBQ sauce bottles, turn them around, read the ingredient list slowly. Is sugar listed first? Are artificial smoke flavors hiding behind vague labeling? Are you pouring tradition? Or pouring industrial food engineering onto your family's meals? If this video helped you see BBQ sauce differently, do 2 simple things right now. Like this video to support deeper food investigations that expose what's really inside everyday products. And subscribe to this channel, because we're breaking down the hidden truth behind the foods millions of Americans trust every single day. Your grill deserves real flavor. Your family deserves real ingredients. And now, you know exactly how to tell the difference.